We've got a CRV today, a Honda CRV, the 2005 CRV to be specific. And today we will be changing the brakes and the rotors. And I'm going to take you along with me to how I'm going to be, how you yourself can change them. The first thing you gotta do is to take these two screws off in the back of this caliper, which is going to take your 14mm ratchet socket. So I'm going to take my 14mm, I'm going to put it on my handy dandy impact wrench. If you don't have one, I would highly recommend getting one. It is a game changer for stuff like this. Alrighty. So now that you got that off, some of these will come off pretty easily. Some of these you have to, like this one, I'm going to have to grab a screwdriver. So after that, you want to take this part off because we are wanting to take the rotor off. So I'm going to hit these two right here. Remember, they might be a little rusted on, so mind that. So most of these calipers actually and rotors come off pretty easily. If they don't, there's something in them. I'll show you it later. There's this little thing right here where you adjust the e-brake. So before all that, I had to scrape off all this junk that was around here, and then I slammed around this side until it was loose, and I was looking for it to come off. But I'm gonna have to take what that little thing does down here, and I'm gonna have to twist it until it's ready to come off. All right, so I did a little twisty thing, and it's ready to come off now. Ugh. Man, look at this thing, nice and rusty and corroded. Now, let me show you what I was talking about. All right, so I got it off. I wanted to show you this. This right here, it's the adjustment for this to go like out. So if it's out, then that piece is not going to come off. So it can adjust out and in with this, and I had to push it in so then I could get it off. Now, because you had to unscrew that little thing, like wind it up, you need to wind it back the other way, so then it's not tempted to fall off and it's nice and snug. Okay, now that that is nice and tightened, you can start putting it back together. Make sure that you always have brake clean whenever you're messing with your rotors. I'll show you why in a second. Look at that. In order to put it back on, I went ahead and put this on for you. I put on that one again. So we're gonna start out by putting that on first, and then we'll put the calipers on with those brakes. Before we move on to putting the brakes inside of the caliper, let's look at this. Sorry, my guy. There we go. So if we look at this, that should be flat. It's not a problem. This is a problem that's very fixable. It is fixable with one of these. Let's fix that problem. Alrighty. Now if we look, that is completely flush, now allowing us to put our brake pads back on. I'm going to start off by putting this one right in here. These ones are a little harder than the other side to put in. So we're going to give this a little taparoo. The other brake pad, this one, needs to be put on before, obviously, because it has this holding it in. So if we're about to put the brake back on, it would be facing that way. So we're gonna line this up, put this back up here to hold, and this side always goes to the middle, or the outside, technically, for this case. So boom. And now we're going to take that, put it on there. All right, let's put it on. Got it on. Had that little issue, but we're good now. So now I'm going to put this screw and the bottom one in. Now I'm going to use my impact again to put these suckers on to save a whole bunch of time. For putting them on and back on, that's about it. Make sure you're torquing your lug nuts to the right appropriate foot-pound of torque to make sure that your wheel does not fall off during travel. One more thing, you can see that this is dirty. Make sure that you're spraying it off a little more before you go and bleed your brakes, because they will need bleeding.